Do you think that astronomers or scientists in general are superhuman? No, they're not. We're going to dive in this video through how scientists think, and I'm going to give you 5 easy steps to think like an astronomer or a scientist. Welcome back to Boring Astronomy. I'm Alessandro, your astronomer next door.
Boring astronomy.
In case you wonder, I'm Alessandro. I've been in astronomy for the past 20 years, and I'm here to share with you some of the things that I've learned during my journey. The one thing that makes scientists is what we call the scientific method. Science, you may call it. Science, in fact, is not a collection of facts or an encyclopedia. It's a way of thinking. It's a way to ask questions about the physical world. Modern science is born basically thanks to Galileo Galilei. He came up with the steps that are needed to analyze a scientific phenomenon. And this is what we're going to speak about today. The first step is observation. You observe a phenomenon. What you do is to see what happens. No judgment included, nothing else than the strict fact, like that English fellow who saw an apple falling from a tree. That was just an apple falling from a tree. Everything else happened afterwards. The second step is to form your theory. This is a very difficult step. This is a very hard working step, because here you're supposed to go through what is already known about this phenomenon, and you can go and ask yourself, what do we know already? What has already been written about this? So you're supposed to do your homeworks. This is very difficult because some of this knowledge may not be easily available, but this is a crucial and important step, and way too often this step is not done properly. Once you have your hypothesis and your theory set together, now it's time to make predictions. And this step is tricky because you have developed a theory which obviously explains something. An apple from the tree falls because it is attracted by Earth. So now your explanation certainly works for an apple, but now you're supposed to extend it to something else. And you can expand it to pears and peaches, easy. But the real big step is if you can try to extend it to Earth going around the sun. And once you're ready with your prediction, you can design your experiment. And this is the fourth step of the scientific thinking. Design an experiment which will prove if you're right or wrong. And this is complicated because you're supposed to come up with something that is completely new, something where you're stepping beyond the border of what is known already. Finally, and this is the fifth and last step, you're supposed to judge the outcome of your experiment. And this is super dangerous because you came up with an idea, you are now analyzing what you have done. And let's be honest, in many cases, you're protecting your idea, you're protecting your result as if you were protecting your own children. And the easiest person to fool is yourself. So here is where you're supposed to be mature, you're supposed to be professional, and here is the real complicated bit. And then in the normal astronomical community, you would normally go out and publish your results, and maybe you get your ticket to Stockholm and get your Nobel Prize. But we're not here to speak about the publication process. We are here to summarize the 5 steps which make you a scientist. And those, I remind you, are to observe, to formulate your theory, to make predictions, design an experiment, and test your experiment. Being able to follow these 5 steps is what makes you a a scientist. The best scientists manage to be highly critical about their ideas. And the important part is to be balanced between being critical and be able to criticize your own ideas and understand their limits, and being protective about your ideas and insisting and wanting your ideas to be right. I hope this was useful, and I hope this will help you to understand and follow the logic of science. Thank you very much, and get bored. Ciao.